Hi, Leo. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripe Color. And this is your reading for the week of June 20th through the 27th. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. Before I started Leo, I say to myself, so is Leo going to roar or is Leo going to purr? And then I said, well, is Leo going to take a long nap? You know, those lions, they love to sleep during the day. They love sleeping during the day. It's like, God bless. They have this new thing on Netflix. Well, it's old already, but they have these cameras that can do things at night, and they show the animals that are like active at night, and it's almost like you could see in the dark. It's fascinating, fascinating. Anyway, it's fascinating to me. 1, 2, 3. It's an interesting reading, I have to say. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So this card has been coming up. This is like the 4th or the 5th time this has come up. You're my 11th sign. You know, I always do a different order. He's really about building something. He's really about building something. You know, he's the knight. Knights are about action, and he's the only knight that doesn't move. Very strange. So he builds something that's secure. He built something with a strong foundation. That's what he's about. Steadfast. Then you get like the wish card, being emotionally sated. So you build something and you're like, it's very satisfying. And then you get the poverty card. What the hell? So weird. It's about change. It's about change. Okay. Got the world. End of something. Beginning of something. So maybe there's something that you've been working on and trying to build or putting effort toward building. I feel like if I button this one, it's too high. And if I unbutton, it's too low. I don't know. Maybe I need a scarf. And, you know, it feels really good and it seems like your dream has come true. And then it's like, well, maybe my dream hasn't come true. Maybe what I've been working on is not as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. Or maybe it's not as secure as I thought it was. And I still feel out in the cold. Maybe it's very interesting little reading. So through the world, which is about completion, right? Oh, here we go. And then I get you, right? Maybe there's something you need to tame. Maybe, maybe you have this grand plan for something. I'm not sitting up straight. There. Maybe you have this grand plan for something and you have this disappointment. It's like, well, it didn't really work out and it feels like it's not going to come together. Maybe there's some part of you that needs to be tamed, that needs to be brought back a little bit. You know, like Sometimes you have to move backwards in order to move forward. Yeah. It's almost like you missed something. I hate to say that, but it's almost like there's this piece of the puzzle that you missed that you're going to have to go back and reconfigure and figure and use new strengths and new assets in order to move forward, in order to kind of begin again. I know it sounds not nice. You know, it feels like, you know, you had this dream, you worked on something, you had this dream, you had this concept, and it seemed like it was all gonna be, I don't know, phenomenal or whatever. And then it's like, oh, like it ain't gonna work out, or you know, it feels out in the cold, it feels impoverished somehow, and it looks like we're gonna have to begin again. Looks like we're gonna have to begin again, and maybe draw it in a certain way and make something new. Look, sometimes when things don't work out the way they're the way we envision them, it's, you know, even though it doesn't feel good, sometimes it's exactly the way it was supposed to, because it was a lesson that we learned through it, and there was a something, you know, maybe part of it had to be left out in the cold. Maybe it was, maybe the vision. It's almost like, you know, you have a vision of something and then you added too much to it, so it kind of diluted it because you added this one element, and then the whole thing didn't work out because that one element. So maybe that needs to be cut out again so that we could begin again and build it more solidly. There's something in it that has to be tamed, because that's what this is. I mean, I have a million, you know, there's something that has to be tamed that at the moment, that has to, you know, maybe like the vision was too big, or not that it was too big, but not that it was too big. It's almost as if there was a piece that didn't fit that made all the other pieces not fit. So I think it needs to be relooked at and reimagined and redone and, you know, reled. You know, it's Mercury retrograde after all. So, you know, redone, relooked at, reled, reconfigured, reimagined. It feels like that. You did, however, learn something in the process. You know, some lessons are a little more difficult than others. What can I tell you? Because I know you have this desire to build something solid, and you know you want your wish to be fulfilled, and you want to be emotionally satisfied, and then you get this weirdness. And you know, usually I read this like with all these other positive cards. I would read this as positive, but it doesn't really feel positive. It feels like something has been left out. That's what it feels like. There's got to be some. Maybe there wasn't enough money to fund the thing the way it was supposed to be funded, or something. But it ends and begins again, because this card is really, you know, it's ending and beginning. The glare always shows up though, and so something needs to be drawn back in. The tail's between his legs, tamed, right? It's also union. Maybe the union didn't happen before, because this is kind of a non-union, right? Maybe there's a new union that needs to be made, because this is union, body and mind. There's a union going on here. And the strength of Leo is knowing when to war and when to purge. See, like I said earlier. And then you'll realize that you have everything you need. So overall, it's a good outcome. It's just this is like you sometimes I say it's a hiccup or a speed bump. This is a little bit more. This is a little bit more. It's like you're building a road and, you have everything all ready. And then you come upon this like hill. It's like, oh, so what are we going to do about the hill? So maybe we flatten out the hill, cut through it, right? Maybe we go over the hill. Okay. Maybe go around it. I'm not sure, but it's something needs to be worked out and redone. And, you'll get where you're going, but there's something that's left out in the cold that needs to be invited into the warmth, right? And maybe not all of it, because sometimes in this card, one goes in and one stays out. Okay, so keep that in mind. Sometimes in this card, one decides to go into the warmth and one decides not to. So it doesn't necessarily mean both of them are going in, and it doesn't necessarily mean that both of them are staying out either. Because the story continues. See? So that's part of what you're going to have to kind of figure out. But you certainly have what it takes to figure it out, because you get your own card, which is a card of courage, which is a card of union, which is also the card of taming the beast, of using the energy wisely. Right? Just, the lion roars when it needs to roar. It doesn't roar all the time. Sometimes it's time to roar, sometimes it's time to purr. And I don't think it's nap time. Sorry. All right. Blessings to you. And you'll get through it. You're Leo. And you get the magician at the end. You'll be fine.